There's a crack in everything, Joy. That's how the light gets in. Well, I'd rather go into light than watch Joy to the World. This movie sucks. It's so generic. King. Is that a word? No, it fucking isn't. This is assembly line. Oh, it's assembly line. Inoffensive, but assembly line. This is on Hulu. It came out a few days ago, actually the 1st of November. Remember the 1st of November when Joy to the World came out, which basically is just a Hallmark-esque, Netflix rom-com-esque film that was shoved out on Hulu with Emmanuel Shrieky, who was, or I think that's how you fucking say it, I don't actually really know. She was in On the Line. Remember that movie with Lance Bass, when Lance Bass both pretended to be an actor and pretended to be straight? Those were good times. And also, she was in Wrong Turn. This movie took a wrong turn, right into the wall, and they kept turning and turning. Wheels in the sky, they keep on turning. And Chad Michael Murray, the fact that he was in this and Freakier Friday, and this was the lesser of the two, really isn't all that surprising. Look, I fully recognize these movies are just made to be background noise, and they're just turned out because they're cheap. They can get name actors, they can spend maybe $1 million or whatever, people can get a paycheck, and they can just be out there for Christmas content. The thing is, they suck. Nothing against the cast, nothing against even how they're necessary, like the crew or anything. Nothing even against the intentions of the filmmaker. And by the way, this is directed by the guy that has done Graveyard Shift and Graveyard Shift 2, as well as television and other schlock. No, really, go look up the director's name. He did Graveyard Shift, which wasn't very good. This is written by the Borowski people. I don't know if they're sisters, if they are, or not sisters, or if they are siblings, if they are kissing cousins, or possibly siblings that are kissing. I don't really know. I shouldn't slander their names, but I'll slander this writing. This writing's terrible. So Joy, the fact that this is the lesser of the two bad movies that I saw with Joy in the title today. Yeah, I watched this right after watching Finding Joy. This at least is somewhat competently made. You get a little bit of background on the characters. You just don't really care about any of them. You have Josh Reich. No, I could make a joke there, but I'm not going to. Guy Sprung. Really don't even need to say anything there. And Aisha Curry. They thought Aisha Curry, in addition to being a basketball wife, should be allowed to be an actress. Why? Why? You can do other things and contribute to society other than sucking wind and sucking ass on goddamn film. And sucking ass not in the Human Centipede way, even though that's far less gross than watching her try to act. And I'm sorry, I just did not like her character at all. Very fake, very generic, which I guess was kind of the point, but yeah, basically Joy has created a TV persona called, the fuck is it? It's a cooking show. It's Goose Lane. That's what the fuck it is. That's how generic this movie is. I had to have notes, and I don't even remember half of this stuff happening. This movie's 87 minutes long. Painstaking minutes, by the way. It was from Canadian, entertainment. All Canadian entertainment, that is. Throw it in the river. Sorry, Canadians. But if this is the best you can fucking produce, go back to producing good slashers. What the hell? So yeah, she basically must get through Christmas doing a live Christmas special, but she needs a family because she actually doesn't have a family of her own, so she gets her best friend, Max, played by Chad Michael Murray, and also some neighbors' kids, and her mailman and her housekeeper to help her out. And then things bingo bango go tits up. I don't really know if I can spoil anything because I pretty much just did, but there's nothing really to spoil in this. But if you like stupid, generic, bland, and flavorless films that basically are just holiday-themed hooray, then this is for you, you fucking weirdos. Go find something else to do with your lives. Anyway, thanks for watching. So 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Yeah, it's on Hulu. Who writes this shit is what I noted. This is absolutely terrible. Some of the worst goddamn stuff that I have seen. At least some of the most generic stuff I've seen. I mean, I gave this movie 1 star on Letterboxd. I usually don't promote my Letterboxd beyond a link, but I'll say what I gave this. Again, this is slightly better than Finding Joy, but it is so bland. Emanuel Shrieker, by the way, is 50 years old, and that's not correct, because I refuse to believe that this woman, who basically looks the same as she did about 20 years ago, is 50, but, or 20, well, actually 25 years ago, good lord. But good on her, seriously, good on her. Chad Michael Murray, he's just slumming it right here, off of One Tree Hill. He was on that show, right? See, in House of Wax, there were a lot of really weird, movies with a bunch of teens that were played by 20-somethings that tried to break out into movies and did the horror stuff. Anyway, I know the other guy that isn't the Ackles guy was in Supernatural, was also in House of Wax. So they did date, her and Max, but now they're friends. She even gives, and while we find out about this, she has a great friendship with her mailman, gives him a gift, and she's doing well. She has the publisher named Merriman. Get it? Because Christmas, Mary, who wants to do that live special? Anyway, Goose Lane, her goose is cooked. She actually says that line at one point, because they're going to do this live special. What do you think? It's like, before we sign off, my goose is cooked. Again, who writes this goddamn stuff? It's so bad. It's so bad. So, nevertheless, we just get these two friends that obviously do care about each other, but they agreed to be friends, even though they really do love each other. And Max is a struggling painter. She says that he's going to get his big break. He's been staying in, her side house, the guest house, because he had water damage in his loft that actually, turns out, got fixed a while ago. The hired help, Helene, I think is her name. Actually, wait, that's the actress's name. Marta. Marta. I'm sorry to the actress that plays her, but I just couldn't help that. And her last book is coming out, and she wants to stop. She wants to do something else. Because book sales are slumping, but also she wants to maybe retire and have fun or do something else. Possibly, maybe hurt somebody that wrote this dialogue for her. So there's Sabrina. The girl that plays Sabrina, she tries, but really I don't know why they would force this kid to do this stuff. And then we have Josh Reich, who plays, and instead of his normal name, he's named Hawk. He's not over the top, though. And the Marta is apparently the comic relief. She needs a mom. She basically, the reason that she's making up a family, she's never had one of her own. She's bounced around to foster homes and has never known what an actual home is like. It's not that she hated her foster parents. We don't really find out much about this because this is assembly line Hallmark Netflix bullshit. It's not pure flick stuff or Great American Family, so it's not hitting you over the head with the fucking Bible, at least. But she basically wants to have a family, see what it's like, and they're just having some fun. Also, there's a side thing of Chad Michael Murray's character taking a redhead out for coffee, being nice, but really he didn't end up wanting to be with her, but she thought it was something more than he did. She also has a few interactions with him where it's like, wait a second, you have a wife, you have a kid, you never told me any of this stuff. He doesn't, but just, none of this is funny, by the way. I'm making it sound funnier than it actually is. And we get everybody having to play their characters, be this fake family, and everybody seems to get along just fine. It's just nobody seems like an actual person. And it turns out that Freddie and Marta end up having a union. They end up actually getting together because they both lost someone, and now they can enjoy their retirement because Marta wants to retire with a full pension or full retirement and that kind of stuff because she has been overpaid for a while, but she wants to retire, and Joy is absolutely for that. It also turns out later that Marta reveals she has a timeshare, so she actually has money, but whatever, just she did that because she's been overpaid for years. And then Aisha Curry's character shows up to just plague this fucking movie more. I mean, good God. People are not this stupid. I mean, nobody is this stupid to where they're going to act like this. So, we get some, generic character interactions. We get Max wanting to be a little bit closer to Joy. And yes, Joy obviously does like him, but she can't be that way because she, doesn't want to let it. She doesn't want anybody to hurt her because people usually do, and he's afraid to go on a second date because after the first date, after 10 seconds, he knows if it's going to work out. And he mentions the 10-second thing. And then the 10-second thing gets done again because we have to hammer it into people's heads because everybody apparently is wine drunk at this point. You had to be drunk on wine at like 2 p.m. probably to enjoy this thing. So, Merriman shows up and says, oh, this reminds me of my family and everything, but, I would give anything to have those moments back. But my kids are grown. I was groaning at this goddamn movie. So they're going to have family dinner. That kind of goes tits up because the table gets busted. But, well, that didn't necessarily work. Also, they did gift exchanges where they did just knitting stuff. And then they pricked their finger on this spinning needle and, well, they didn't die. I just kind of wish that this movie had. This is so generic and so bad. So, Chad Michael Murray mentions the 10 seconds thing. And the aforementioned table issues. And then she got exposed because the neighbor showed up and said, Sabrina, what the hell are you doing here? And that reveals that. And what are you doing here? And then Hawk goes back home, wherever he lives. Seemingly in one of the 3 houses that they actually, showed any close-ups of. And Freddie and Marta are basically going to leave. But then they show back up later. But this is not until Joy basically kind of just pushes Max off like, I can't do this. Like, this can't happen. So he leaves, and he confesses that damage in the loft apartment's done. He is going to just leave. He hasn't been answering his phone. Others show up for gifts and stuff like that. She basically confesses on television just before it goes off that, she had not, she never had a family, this kind of stuff, and it was terrible, and she's sorry she lied to everybody. Merriman says, your book sales have gone up because you're raw, you're real, you're not a perfect person, and people like that. You are a good person. You don't have to be perfect. And everything's fine. Freddie and Marta are going to go. Hawk and Sabrina show up. Actually, I think they're the same. I think they're siblings, but I totally forgot about that until just a second ago. That's how little I care about these characters. And, the mother apologizes, like, I'm sorry, we've been so busy, and you've been good with the kids and everything, and we're sorry you went through that. And then Max ends up finally answering her call. He's out back. He's getting he's getting his paintings. One's for her above the fireplace, and he got accepted to this art school thing, this art gallery deal, and he's going to get money. And then she says, I don't want to be friends. I don't want to just get coffee. I want you. I have loved you. The first 10 seconds are just, I hate this. I hate this. It's so bad. It's so bad. The writers of this need to actually be told that they need to go to a linguistic school. They don't know how to actually do proper English. That being, and I know that sounds mean, and I'm sorry, and I don't expect tremendously, Shakespearean writing here. That's awful English, awful grammar, but still, if you're going to have something this goddamn bad, this painfully bland, you have to try and make it a little bit fun, and they don't. Every cliche, everything is checked off on the bingo card. So her and Max get together. There are geese in the goddamn yard because there were geese in his painting, and that's it. We smash cut to credits, and that is joy to the world. I have joy knowing that I will not have to watch this again. By the way, this is movie 276. I closed out 2023 with 276 movies. I closed out 2024 with 337. I thought it was 336, but I forgot I watched Baby Girl. And that was movie 337. I have 61 movies left to match last year's record. And at the pace I'm going, I'm probably going to be above 300 before the end of November. Because I got a shit ton of movies to watch in theaters and on streaming. So get ready to be assaulted by movies. Slapped in the goddamn face and choke on it. You can choke on it and don't make eye contact, bitch. I don't know what this ending is. I'm sorry. But these movies, god damn it. Merry fucking Christmas. Anyway, Netflix has a few Christmas movies coming out. That'll be 4 of the remaining 60-something. Yay me. Agree, disagree, what? F, by the way, F, just in case you did not get that. So agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rightland. Until we get into a better Christmas spirit or we get into the still spirits, and moderation, folks, but I'm straight edge, happy trails to you.